Are you suffering from creative block? Why do so many of us feel terrible about our own work sometimes? What makes creativity so difficult and so sought after is exactly that, being creative. Creativity requires much more than simply thinking about an issue and solving it. Our brains are hardwired for routine, and we find ourselves getting very comfortable in the same familiar situations. Creativity pushes us outside of our comfort zone into something new every single time. It requires us to be constantly on our toes so that we can encounter issues that we've never encountered before. Creating something from start to finish isn't as simple as we'd hope. It requires us to dig deep inside ourselves and overcome obstacles we might not have even thought existed beforehand. So what makes this so difficult for us? What hinders our creativity when we need it most? I've encountered 4 things that dampen my creativity and need a bit more thinking before overcoming them. And they are gear, comparison, overthinking, and copying. I think this is the most common sentence used in the YouTube filmmaking scene, but gear does not make you a better filmmaker or a more creative person in general. Oftentimes, it's the opposite that's true. There's something to be said about having many pieces of gear to aid your storytelling and enhance the narrative that you're trying to portray. But often, lacking gear you wish you had pushes you to come at the issue in a different direction and a more creative way. If you don't have studio lights, make some or repurpose other lights. If you don't have a slider, use a different shot or try to rig one up yourself. If you don't have the ability to get high up drone shots, use that to your advantage with creatively framed, on-the-ground shots. Make your films or art interesting, even if your gear library lacks variety. It helps you stand out more by using innovation instead of gear to meet your goals. I often find myself spending a lot of time thinking about small aspects of a video or a photo edit. There are times where this leads to better results, but for the most part, the extra time spent on thinking instead of doing yields depreciating returns. The extra time mulling over an idea, taking it back, only to re-implement it later and repeat the cycle, often just wastes time that could be spent moving on with your project or getting more work done. If you think something is a good idea, go for it. The worst you can do is be wrong, which only improves you in the future. I first heard the notion of how comparison can make you feel less creative on a vlogging YouTube channel called Becky and Chris, and again on Matt D'Avella's podcast. They both said something to the effect of comparing yourself to others makes you feel like your work isn't any good. Comparing yourself to others only dampens your creativity. Yes, you can be inspired by something you see, but seeing an accomplished person's work and comparing it to your own is toxic and leads to you selling yourself short. Your work may not be on par with that of someone with millions of followers or years of experience, but that doesn't make yours bad. Use their work for inspiration to better your own. Don't beat yourself up if yours doesn't look exactly like their work right off the bat, because it probably took them years of experience to get to where they are now. Put in the work, and yours will look the same. It takes a lot of time, so be dedicated to it. Or find something else that you can be dedicated to. Copying others' ideas is a great starting point. It shows you how to create something you otherwise might have not understood how. It shows you the ropes of someone that might be far beyond your experience level, but it also caps your creativity. If you only copy the ideas of others, you will only be seen as second best. There isn't any surpassing them. Not that creativity is a competition, but the word creativity is defined as the use of imagination or original ideas. Copying is never original and doesn't make you stand out. Creative praise is given to those who innovate, those who make something unique in a world of sequels and repeats, those who overcome the odds and make something special. So go make something developed by you. You can use the work of others to help guide your creative ideas and style. Use the gear that you have available to you, even if it seems like a handicap, and push yourself within your own skill set. That is what will help you be more creative.